Taping over smooth or level and unlevel ground. Objectives: to develop the skills of taping the distance on a level ground where the tape is fully supported by the ground. To acquire skills of taping the distance on an uneven ground where the tape is only supported at the ends. The materials used are 2 range poles, 50-meter tape, chalk or marking pins, and 2 plumb bobs. Procedures for taping over smooth or level ground.
First, select an accessible and unobstructed course to be measured by the surveyor on a level ground. Second, mark the endpoints by a chalk if it is on pavement or by a marking pin if it is on soft ground and designate it as endpoints A and B. Third, a range foreman holds the pole vertically and steadily during the entire taping procedure at B to keep the complete taping process aligned and straightened. Fourth, the tape is stretched out on the ground on the straight path along A to B, where the zero end is held ahead. Note that zero end is nearer B than A. Then the rear tape man is responsible for giving the signal to the front tape man if his path is straight, while the front tape man is responsible to fold the tape down once the tape is aligned already. Fifth, the front tape man gets a pin and sticks it vertically in the ground exactly opposite the 0-meter mark of the tape. 6 is rear tape man holds 1 pin and the rest of the pins, which is 10 pins, are held by the front tape man. 7. Both the front and the rear tape man lift simultaneously the tape and move forward along the line AB to measure the next tape length. By now, the rear tape man holds 1 marking pin, which signifies 1 tape length. Then 8, the procedure 4 to 6 is repeated to complete the next tape length measurement. Make sure that the rear tape man folds the fin before lifting the tape to move on to the next tape length. The rear tape man holds 2 marking pins to connote that 2 tape lengths have been measured. 9. Repeat the same process until all the fins being held by the front tape man have been used up, which signifies 1 tally, which is 1 tally is equal to 10 tape lengths, which is also equal to 1 pivot. After a tally has been accomplished, the rear tape man returns all the 10 pins to the front tape man to proceed in measuring the tape length of the course. Note that 1 round is when all the 10 pins are now being held by the rear tape man. 10. Repeat the same process if more than 1 tally is needed. Upon reaching point B, the partial length must be measured accurately up to 10 centimeters by the rear tape man while the front tape man is holding the 0-meter mark at B and both them are holding the tape out. 11. The number of small fiddles in the rear tape pocket now indicates number of tallies made and the number of pins in this section indicates the number of additional tape lengths. This is recorded in Table 2.1, Taping over Smooth Level Ground. 12. To compute for the total distance shown as equation number 2, get the total number of full tape lengths, which is shown to equation number 1, and then add the partial tape length to the product of the length of 1 full tape length and total number of full tape lengths. 13. To compute for the mean distance as shown in third equation, determine the sum of the total distance, then divide the sum by the number of triangles. 14. To get the relative precision as shown in fifth equation, determine the probable error of the mean as shown in the equation number 4, then divide by mean distance and reduce the numerator to unity to determine the relative precision.
Procedures for taping over unlevel ground.
The same course is measured, but this time, the tape will be unsupported by the ground and must be held an eye level distance above the ground. Second, both the rear and the front taping hold a plumb line over the center of the house. Then third, the front tapeman must hold this plumb line an arm length away from his body for the rear tapeman to clearly see if it is aligned in the range pole at B. Once the rear tapeman approves the alignment, the front tapeman holding the 0 meter mark pulls the tape out and drops plumb bob on the ground. This will mark the ground with a dent to guide the front tapeman where he must place his marking pin. Fifth, this is to be done continuously until point B is reached. Note that partial length must also be measured as in procedure A. 6. The course is measured back and forth to complete the number of trials required by the professor. 7. Tabulate the data in table 2.2 taping over an even ground. 8. To compute for the total distance as shown in equation number 2, get the total number of full tape lengths as shown in equation number 1 and then add the partial tape length to the product of the length of one full tape length and total number of full tape lengths. 9. To compute for the mean distance as shown in equation number 3, determine the sum of total distance, then divide the sum by the number of trials. 10. To get the relative precision shown in equation number 5, determine the probable error of the mean as shown in equation number 4, then divide by mean distance and reduce the numerator to unity to determine the relative precision.